How are you? Hello, we. How are you? How do you feel? Can you hear me well? Hello, wait, can you hear me? Can you hear me well? Ah, okay, your audio is not working. All right. It's not working. Okay. Hmm. Okay, we can you hear me well now? Or can you speak? Oh, the audio. All right, no problem. Meanwhile you're doing this, let me check something. Now I can hear your voice.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can. That's fine.
Okay.
So can you tell me what did we talk about in our last class?
Yeah, about in our last class, we talked about the past simple and the present perfect tense. And then we talk about food in Vietnam. No, about food.
Okay, past simple and all right, and simple present tense, all right? So now
Yeah.
look at this. I'm gonna open the presentation. Let me just make sure about something right here.
Okay.
Oh. Okay, let me ask you something. Did I cover this part with you? Let me show you something. Wait.
Okay.
Allow me to show you this. Did I cover this lesson to you?
Yes, we finished 4B. Now we turn to 4C.
Okay, so I think it was this one. This one, we covered this one, right?
Yes, we have this the last one.
Yeah, that one is the following. So did I work with this one with you?
No.
Okay, this is the one that is correspondent for today. Horsey Culture Public Health. Well, actually, I think we started this one, right? But I'm afraid we did not finish to do that. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
We had just finished talking about hamburger and apple.
Yeah, we did not cover the whole lesson. It was just an intro of the lesson. Okay, so look at there. Look at this picture, all right? Look at the picture. I want you to describe the photo. And what does each food contains a lot? You told me about the apples. You told me about the soda. You told me about the hamburger. I remember you told me that it has or it contains proteins and all that. So now I would like you to tell me in regards of the apple and many fruits in general.
Okay. Well, actually, I think fruits has a lot of advantages to our body. Like it can improve our immune system due to the vitamin C's and vitamin A's in every kinds of fruit. Then it can also help our skin to become better by its vitamin E. But sometimes but nowadays eating fruits with pesticide is not too good.
That is correct. That is right. So look at this. Now that we already talked about that, so let's do this.
Yeah.
So let's read and understand. Let's analyze the context of this test. As you know, we did not manage to do that to understand what's going on here. I think here there is a lot of scientific information, so relevant, especially when it comes to our diet and all that. Let's listen to this, all right? Let's read this, all right? I was going to say to you, to, especially to listen as well, but I see that there is no audio file attached to this reading. So let's see. In Britain.
Okay, in Britain, school children usually have lunch at school. And recently, the government has encouraged schools to offer healthier food. At the start of the autumn term, John Lambert, the head teacher at Roma's Comprehensive School in Yorkshire, introduced healthier school meals that he says help the children to concentrate better. He also reduced the lunch break from 1 hour to 30 minutes and banned children from going out to local takeaways during the break. But two mothers, Mrs. Critchlow and Mrs. Walker, believe that new rules don't give people enough choice or enough time to enjoy the lunch. So 2 weeks ago, they started passing burgers, fish and chips and fizzy drink over the school fence. Soon they were delivering up to 60 food orders. Mr. Lambert has described the two mothers as unwise and said that they were undermining the school and their children's education. He claims there have been improvements in behavior and learning in the afternoons since the new healthy eating regime was introduced. After a meeting with Mr. Lambert, the two mothers have agreed to stop their deliveries while they try to resolve the problem. Speaking before the meeting, Mrs. Critchlow argued that children have the right to choose their food. We are not against healthy eating. It's about the freedom of choice.
Okay. Actually, here there's a lot of things to talk about it. So actually, they are not against type of food. They are, supporting the freedom to choose. All right. So I want to ask you a few quick questions about that. So do you consider that supporting the freedoms to choose or taking care of our health, which one do you think is more convenient for people?
I think the more convenient way for people is to actually it's taking a healthy taking a healthy meal. Healthy diet.
Healthy diet. I agree with this because look at that. What's happened is that human beings, let's talk about anatomy. I know sometimes this kind of topic tends to be a little bit deep, all right? So we can go deeper in the context of this conversation. But let me tell you this, all right? So,
all right.
Look at that. Many people actually, take calories, all right? They take calories.
Yeah.
For example, high calorie numbers of foods with high calorie numbers, all right? So
Yes.
anytime somebody is having an excessive amount of calories, so it becomes into sugars or high cholesterol. Maybe you do exercise, you can burn this fat, but at the end of the way, that is gonna be the producer of many other diseases.
Yeah.
Especially things like the obesity, things like high cholesterol, things like what else? Diabetes, things like what else? So blood clots, things like that. Because unhealthy food, or well known as fast food, all right? Many people say, okay, I have the freedom to choose whatever I want, but also, you know, there will be a consequence because there's not a good alimentation. At the end of the way, it's going to affect our organism if we continue to eat things like that.
Yeah.
Get my point?
Yes.
Okay, so let's continue. Look at there. So there we have like there we have some vocabulary words associated with, all right, this kind of food. We have calories, we have carbohydrates, we have fat, fiber, protein, salt, sugar, and finally we got vitamins, right? And let's say something. All of these things we're having here, we need to have a balance, all right? It's kind of like you cannot say, oh, I'm not gonna eat meat, or I'm not gonna only eat greasy food. Why is that? Because, all right? So we need all of them, at least in some amounts, minor amounts, but we need them. Understand?
Yeah, yes.
Let's continue with the next slides.
All right.
Look at there. So a few questions for you, Will. When did the school introduce the new rule?
Okay, I think the school introduced the new rules at the start of the autumn term.
Okay. So let me see. Okay, well done. So what has the school banned students from doing during the lunch break?
The school banned children from going out to local takeaways during the break.
Okay, amazing. Number 3, why are they two mothers unhappy about the new rules?
Because they believe that new rules don't give people enough choice or enough time to enjoy their lunch.
Okay, so let's continue. So number 4, what did the mother do after the new rule were introduced?
Yeah, they started passing the foods and the drinks to their children.
All right, so and what are the benefits of a new regime according to the head teacher?
Wait. Okay, I think, sorry, the benefit of the regime is that it improves their behavior and their learning in the afternoons since,
Amazing. So let's continue. Look at that. So look at this. Something I want you to explain to me. I want you to explain the disagreement between Mr. Lambert and the two mothers in your own words, And after that, I would like to ask you, do you think the school should try to improve their students' diet or should students be able to choose what they eat? If so, then I want you to justify the answer. All right, let's start with the first one.
All right.
So can you explain to me the disagreement between Mr. Lambert and the two mothers in your own words?
Yeah, first about the two mothers. They think that their children must have the like the right to choose their food that they like without like being forced by the school. But on the other hand, Mr. Lambert believes that this new diet of the school will help them to improve their behaviors in many ways.
That is correct. It may improve their behaviors in many ways, especially there is something we need to take into account. Especially, all right, so
yes.
having a healthy lifestyle, all right?
Yes.
Especially having a healthy lifestyle. It's kind of like let me tell you, it's kind of like creating a discipline, all right? When you change your way of eating, so it's kind of like you're creating a discipline.
Okay.
So let's continue with the number two, the second one. Do you think the schools should try to improve their students' diet, or should the students be able to choose what they eat? Can you please justify your answer with this question of the exercise?
Okay. In my opinion, I think that schools should try to improve their their students' diet, because because I think that the student does not have enough knowledge to know, and maybe they cannot
No, you mean like no enough knowledge?
No. I mean that like they cannot control themselves before the what?
It's kind of like they do not have this behavior. They do not behave this way. And maybe they are not familiar, or they don't have the habits, all right, to change maybe the lifestyle, to their eating lifestyle, to eat, for example, some healthy food that are going to help them. You know what I mean? Maybe they may pick whatever they see, maybe, all right?
Yes.
So let's continue. Give me 1 second, real quick.
Okay.
So just 1 second. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so let's continue. Well, like I said before, oh, wow, got disconnected. Sorry, just 1 second. Okay, wait, let's continue. All right, so can you hear me well?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Look at there. I remember, let me just, I know you answered this question to me. Allow me just to ask, to go out of the lesson a little bit.
Okay.
Look at this. I remember around a year and a half ago, so I was teaching something. I was teaching something similar to this topic, and I remember one of my students asked me, right, if I consider that can a person that is doing exercise, all right, have a disease just because it's eating something, it's eating too much? Meaning, I want you to understand me. For example, you are eating too much, but you are exercising, all right? And the thing here has to do especially with our diet or the things that we eat or how healthy that is. But something that we need to take into account is that sometimes you do exercise, right? But sometimes, all right, not always gonna be like that. There are some substances that actually may make your life like worse. I'm gonna tell you, for example, the reason. Let's talk about hamburgers, all right? Yeah. Everybody wants hamburgers. I love hamburgers because I'm from here, you know. But look at there. Imagine the meat, the hamburger meat, okay? Yeah. Spend around 30 days in the refrigerator. Do you understand my point? 30 days or maybe over 30 days. Do you think that is gonna be like that? That is gonna be there for 30 days, or it's being made with any kind of substance so that the meat can support all that time so it can resist until 30 days over?
No, I don't think it will exist, or at least it will be really.
It might be natural?
Yeah, sorry.
Do you think it may be natural, like, you know, the meat lasts for around 30 days?
No, of course it's no.
Obviously.
Because it's maybe like it's maybe a mixture of something of sauces and protein, and it's like and more than more bacteria, and it's maybe really bad for your health.
You got my point. This is where I'm going. So for example, fresh meat. So you have fresh meat, so nice, you can taste very good. But when the food has certain time, there are some bacteria that resist their temperature. You know, it goes to the refrigerator, right? And that, so then you eat it a long time ago. So it accumulates some bacteria that are able to resist, all right? Even the lowest temperature, okay? So one more thing is that, let's talk about some other diseases like cancer, all right?
Yeah, do you know what
cancer is? Because of the chemical, the disclaimer, I'm not saying that it's always going to be like this. I'm just talking about prevention, all right?
Yeah.
So look at this. Because of the chemical that some foods have, all right? Sometimes pesticides, sometimes chemical to persevere, all right? To persevere, all right, the meat or the products. And then because of all of these chemicals, at the end of the way, in the end, what is going to happen is that all these chemicals come to our body. You get my point?
Yes.
And the thing is that way, sometimes you think you're eating a healthy food, and sometimes, in fact, you are not.
Yeah.
So let's continue.
Okay.
And what do you think? Do you think a school should try to improve their students' diets? Or do you think it's good like that?
I don't know yet because my school don't do that, but I think they should improve student diet.
Can you hear me well, Louis?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, can you repeat it again one more time? Sorry, it was kind of like breaking up.
Yeah, I haven't been experienced yet because they in Vietnam, my school don't do that. But in my opinion, I think that they should improve their student diet.
Okay, because, they should.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. Do public schools there in Vietnam provide breakfast to their students?
Yeah, they provide a receipt, but we now it's like a menu. we can choose from them, but I haven't tried it yet because it tastes not it's not it like it doesn't taste very good.
Okay, it's not your favorite taste. I understand. So then you mean like there in Vietnam you have what we call like what is the name of this? Actually, they are well known as a school breakfast, all right? A school breakfast, or some other places they call like let me see, dining room, a school dining room. Sometimes they call it a school lunch, a school dining room. Sometimes it's well known as a restaurant, a school restaurant. There are so many names.
The canteen. We call it a canteen.
I'm sorry?
We call it we call it a canteen.
I can't call, how do you call it? I'm sorry.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, tell me again one more time. How do you call it? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we call it a canteen.
Our canteen?
Yes, we call it like that.
Okay. So in the end, I think that has to do with the country and the culture. All right.
Yeah.
So that depends a lot on that. But do you think that having a good diet, it may help you prevent many diseases?
Yeah, of course, because we can control the things come inside our body, so that we can like know how good they are, and we can like know more about our health, and in that way we can like exactly know that which disease will come with our body, and we can treat it.
That's right. And let me tell you something. Can you tell me, in your opinion, I don't know if you know much about it, but can you tell me, right, nowadays, 21st century, what are considered the silent killer diseases? Do you have any idea?
Can you repeat? I can hear well.
Okay, let me see. Do you know nowadays there are some diseases well known as silent killer diseases? Have you ever heard about that?
Wait, I think I have heard about them before.
What can you tell me about that? What do you think about this silent killer diseases? If you have any idea, what are the silent killer diseases?
I think it is like the disease is a really like a really dangerous disease that can, but it doesn't have so much phenomena that we can like know when we have it.
Okay, so let me tell you this. I'm gonna speak to you. I'm gonna tell you what are these kind of diseases. So silent killer diseases, usually, all right, they are well known for being diseases that has to do with our alimentation, with our diet, all right? And what's happened with the silent killer diseases? So no one noticed, all right? Or gradually you do not notice right away. However, they come to your body because of this, especially because of the alimentation. Let's say hypertension, high blood sugar, cholesterol, obesity, and those are the silent killers, all right? Silent killers diseases. Okay, cholesterol. When you have a high cholesterol, you feel like you are dizzy. When you have, for example, blood pressure, you may have a high blood pressure or low blood pressure just because you're eating a lot of greasy food. You got my point?
Yes.
Okay, so look at this. So now we are going to complete this exercise. Look at that,
Okay.
Listen carefully. So we're gonna listen to 5 people in Britain. We're going to listen to 5 people in Britain talking about health issues. Look at that. After that, I want you to tell me which 2 speakers think that the government should not tell us what to eat. There are some governments that do these things. Here it is. Oh, what's happened?
Lesson 4C.
Can you hear me?
Exercises 4 and 5.
I can hear.
Speaker 1.
Okay. Let me see.
I reckon it's a good idea trying to get schools to serve healthier food. Some people say it won't make a difference because people don't like it when the government tells them what to do. But look at the smoking law. That really helped to reduce smoking and improve people's health. And there are other examples too. It can work.
Speaker 2.
Okay.
Nobody likes the government telling them what to do or what to eat. And sometimes the advice is confusing. You know, it changes from year to year. People say it isn't the government's business to tell us what to eat. Our health is our own business. The thing is, the government has to pay when you get ill and need to go to hospital. And if more and more people need treatment because they're unhealthy, that means raising taxes. So I think the government should try to make people eat healthier food and save us all some money.
Speaker 3.
Okay.
These politicians think they can control every area of our lives. How we drive, what we eat, where we smoke. I've had enough. If I want to eat chips every day and drive everywhere by car, then that's my decision. I can make up my own mind if I want to live a healthy life or not. I'm not stupid, and it's nobody else's business what I do. We've got too many laws already in this country. We don't need a new law telling us we have to eat salad twice a week, thank you very much.
Oh my God.
Speaker 4.
What a behavior.
I think it's a joke, frankly. A law about healthy eating. We don't elect politicians so that they can stop us doing what we want. We elect them to run the country. What are they going to do next? Ban fish and chip shops? Stop people from buying chocolate bars? Or pass a law that says fast food restaurants are illegal? They probably would if they could. Meanwhile, crime is going up, taxes are going up.
Speaker 5.
I don't understand why people are complaining about these new government regulations. I mean, they say things like, we've got the right to eat whatever we want. Well, sure, go ahead, make yourself fat and unhealthy. But what about your kids? You haven't got the right to make them fat and unhealthy too. What about their rights?
Okay. Question. Here's a question for you. Which 2 speakers think that the government should not tell us what to eat?
I think that they are speaker 3 and speaker 4.
Speaker 3 and 4. So that's right. So now let's complete each speaker's opinion from A to E. And I want you to, especially with the words below, then listen again and match the speakers with 1 to 5. Obviously with the opinions. Look at there. So there we have these blanks. Then we're gonna use one of the words that are here that will describe this definition. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. A, and fitness are personal matters. The government shouldn't pass laws about them. What is that?
Wait, I need 1 minute. Okay.
Okay, diet, well, You need some
diet.
time. You need some time to complete the exercise.
No, I think I can do it right now.
Okay, let me see.
Okay. A is diet. Diet and fitness are personal matters.
Okay.
And B, if people don't look after the health, the government will have to raise taxes to pay for treatment.
Okay.
Next, people have the right to eat unhealthy food, but not to give it to their children.
Okay.
Next.
I'm sorry. Let's continue. Next one.
Okay. Next one. The government. Well, where is it? Okay, the government would make a lot more things illegal if they could. And the final one, the government has launched successful campaigns in the past to raise awareness of health issues.
Okay. Well done. Look at there. Exercise number 6. So this is what we are going to do here, right? We're
Okay.
going to complete. We're going to find and complete the collocations from exercise number 5. Then write example sentences for each collocation. All right, look at there.
Okay.
I'll give you an example. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, let me see. So there you have, launch, make, pass, raise again. So now we're gonna place in the correct order, right?
Okay.
A campaign to do something. What is that? A campaign to do something.
Okay, sorry. Launch a campaign to do something.
Yes.
Yeah, the next is pass a law.
Okay.
Next
Pass
is
a law.
raise awareness of something.
Okay.
Next is make something illegal. Next is raise taxes. And the final one is have the right to do something.
Okay, so let me continue. Let me just show you the first one. Launch a campaign that is popular. Pass a law when we submit, for example, an ambassador or a minister of a country, all right, wants to pass a law.
Yeah.
That is to pass a law, all right? To be able to prove, okay, for a country, certain regulations. Let me see, next one. Okay, awareness. Awareness.
Yeah, raise awareness of something.
Look at here. Let me see. Something illegal.
Is make something illegal.
Okay, make something illegal. It sounds good. So let me see.
Yeah.
Taxes.
Is raise taxes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, taxes.
Is raise taxes.
Raise taxes. All right, so next one.
The next is have the right to do something.
Let me see. The next one is have the right to do something. Okay, yeah. Amazing. I think you did it very well. Allow me just 1 second.
All right.
Okay, so I want you to decide 3 ways to make your diet and lifestyle healthier. Think about it. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes to complete this exercise. Will it be fine with?
Okay.
This one. Let me take some water.
Okay.
Everything right? Okay.
Yes.
Continue. I want you to decide it. I want you to decide on 3 ways to make diet and lifestyle healthier. For example, think about foods you should cut down. There are always some foods that we say, oh my God, so I need to cut down this food because it may affect me. And usually those are the ones that you feel like, oh, you like a lot. But you understand that in the end, it may cause some maybe diseases or may affect your organism, your body.
Yeah.
So then the first one, foods you should cut down or give up completely. This is the first one. Which food do you consider you need to cut down or give up completely?
Yeah. After looking at my diet, I think I should cut down the amount of fried food that I have eaten in one day.
How many?
I eat in one day. I think it's not too much, but I think I should cut down as I don't have I don't have much time to do exercise.
Okay, exercise. I see. Okay. So, and what about foods? But can you tell me any type of food in particular?
Yeah, we like fried meat and fried fish, fried shrimp.
Oh,
well, a lot of things.
I see. Okay, foods you should have more of in your diet. Can you tell me some food you should have more in your diet?
I think I don't need to I don't need to add anything new into my diet as I have in a month I have eat a lot of kinds of fruit like bananas, apple, pear.
Okay, fruits and vegetables you mean, right?
No, actually I mean that I don't need to add anything new into my diet as I eat a lot of kinds of fruit and vegetable too.
Got it. That's good. That's good. I'm so happy to know that you have a healthy lifestyle. You may balance your diets because nowadays that's very important. You know, there are many diseases nowadays. Many diseases that we can, like, let's say, take care of. Avoid having. So you know that there are diseases that if you avoid to have them just because the alimentation, because of your eating, that's gonna be perfect. Because those diseases, like I said before, they are silent killers. So for example, can you tell me, next question is, can you tell me what are some ways of getting more exercise?
Okay. I think I should spend more time getting exercise at home as now because of the COVID-19 we cannot go outside, and I think doing some kinds of exercise like squash or something else. Yeah.
Okay, exercise at home, all right? So like home exercises, like walking around, maybe, I don't know if lifting weights, like pulling over, pull out, all that, right? Yeah, that's very important. Our body needs it. Our body needs all. I think I can tell you something. I was looking at some scientific informations, right? And it says that it's good at least 90 minutes per week, all right? If you do it, the equivalent of this, that's gonna be like 30 minutes a day. If you at least train yourself 30 minutes a day, at least for 3 days, you may be healthy.
Oh, every day I will, in fact, I spend about 40 minutes a day.
I usually do it. Let me tell you, I usually do it I usually do it three times a day per week. So I usually do it. I go around the park to run and all that. I go jogging, but I spend around 1 hour. I make sure to spend 1 hour every day I go. This way, I think that for me, it's very good. I try to do this exercise. It's not because I want to be like, you know, it's not because that I want to do exercise to be a stronger or something like that, but I try to do it, especially to take care of my health. Because if I do it this way, you know what is going to happen. So my lifestyle is going to be healthier, and I don't have to go to any hospital. I don't have to be worried about some other diseases I may have.
Yeah.
And now, what about you? You told me that you are not currently exercising, or you are doing it.
Actually, it's not it's not like currently, but it's like about the time I spend per day. It's not too long.
Oh, it's not too long. I understand. Yeah. No, because look at this. This is something that you are not gonna do from one day to another. You're gonna start maybe with some minutes, and in the end, you will finish with more. You know, more time. You're gonna have more energy. You are going to develop your skills, and that'll help you a lot.
Yeah.
That's very good for our body. So in order to finish, in order to wrap up, can you tell me at least 3 ideas for exercise number 7?
Sorry?
Can you tell me 3 ideas for exercise number 7? Look at this. For example, you can tell me, I think cut down the French fry, for example. I'm not against, disclaimer, I am not against French fries. But what I want you to do, can you tell me at least 3 ideas, all right, of exercise number 7, like changing to new things? Like this, for example, look at this. Look at this example. We think we should cut down on I think it's fried food, and give up sugar and coffee.
Okay. In short, I will talk about 3 ideas that in exercise number 7. The first one is that to cutting down the amount of fried food, like fried meat, fried fish, fried shrimp, etc. in my diet. And the next one is to eating more sour fruits like grapefruit or drink more lemon juice. And finally, I will.
Yeah, that's right, fiber.
Yeah, and finally, I think I will spend more time a day getting more exercise.
You will spend more time a day, doing more exercise in your body. Like maybe you can go, well, I know in Vietnam, you cannot go out because of the COVID-19, all right? But at home, you can do exercise, maybe pullovers, running, jumping the rope, like, exercising like that all the time. Do you have a rope at home?
Yeah, I have one, and I jump every day.
Yeah, if you do it, so you will keep yourself healthy, or healthier than ever. I think, in my opinion, this is one of the exercises I love the most. Okay, well, thank you so much for being so active and positive in the class. I'm gonna give you a homework, which is this one. You already told me this. I already know that you understand very well the topic. And let me ask you something. What did you like the most today in this class? What was, let me just reorganize my idea. What I'm trying to ask you is, what was the most important to you in today's class? Among all the information given to you, what was the most important, or what do you consider was the most important?
Yeah, although I think the grammar and the vocabulary is really important, but I think the most important thing is that that's the way of building a new diet to me.
That's right, the way how we can have a new diet and things that we can avoid as well. All right.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. I will be sharing the homework. That's gonna be this exercise, obviously written. Now, you know, all here, conversation, speak. There, exercise your writing so you can practice your written skills.
Okay.
Thank you so much, for your fantastic opinions. You did it very well, like that. You are doing a great job. And I'll send you the homework right now.
Okay.
Have a good day, Oh,
yeah, no, evening.
Good night. We are opposite. We are flipped. Well, have a
good
See you, Bye.
Yeah, see ya. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.